So we continue again from the last video for modeling level 2. The video is a bit long, but it's basically what we want to show here is the difference between the modeling level 1 and level 2. So modeling level 2 is higher than modeling level 1, so it's also more complex, but it gives more detail that cannot be seen in modeling level 1. So the last result that we get in modeling level 2 is expressions for Q. Now, if we remember, we go back into our modeling level 1. We have an expressions of when HL, L1 divided by HG, L2 is very large, then we have this particular Q, 2 pi r Hg L2 T1 minus T0 becomes valid. So this was what we get when we have from what modeling level 1. As you can see in here, the difference is that from the modeling level 2, what you have is this particular form with multiplications of this effectiveness factor. So then this effectiveness factors is something that is added in the modeling level 2. And what is this essentially? This effectiveness factor tells us this. If we go into the notes that we have in my that I attach into your canvas, is this basically this derivations. We have this mu in here, and that this mu in here is equal to the actual heat loss divided by the maximum loss when gradients are absent. And we can plot this effectiveness factor. Note that this effectiveness factor is equal to the tangent H ml2 divided by ml2. So this tangent H ml2 divided by ml2 as the y-axis and ml2 as the x-axis. If we plot this one and we carefully do the value, we figure out the value using a calculator or a spreadsheet, we can find that this effectiveness factor essentially approaches 1 when ml2 is much less than 1. And it behave like 1 divided by ml2 when ml2 is very large. So in the limit for small ml2, then your effectiveness factor will be equal to 1. So this will be equal to 1. So meaning that your modeling level 1 equations will be valid when this effectiveness factor is equal to 1. So this mu will be equal to 1 only when ml2 is much less than 1. So this is valid if the rod thermal conductivity is very large or the segment exposed to atmosphere is short. Another way of thinking like that is if we plot the x versus yx, and then we get the y equal tangent hx. So x will be equal to tangent h only in the very small range near the coordinate of 0, 0. So ml will be very low for a very low value of ml2. Okay, so physically the modeling, what we can say in here is that the result from the modeling level 1 will be accurate if the rod thermal conductivity is large or if the segment exposed to the atmosphere is short. Okay, so that's very important. So in saying these things, meaning that if we go into the level 1 above, then we go into the one level above, then we can understand how the modeling one level below will be accurate. Okay, and I have shown you the way to calculate the Q, and another Alternative is by calculating of the heat transfer rate is by carrying out the integrations of the local heat transfer along the rod. So basically you will integrate all the heat loss that happens from 0 until L2. Okay, if for those that are interested, you can basically integrate this and try to check if the result that you get is equal to the Q that we derived earlier. Okay, with that then I conclude the video for the modeling level 2, and I really suggest that you go into your notes to as you watch this video to try to understand how the detailed derivations for the modeling level 2 is performed. I mean, I know that this is a bit complicated, but this will give you an idea of actually how transport phenomena is modeling is performed. Okay, thank you for listening.